Hello and welcome to the After Bedtime Podcast. I am your host, HP Burrito. And on tonight's topic, I want to talk about one world time. And the reason I want to talk about that is because the way technologies and our electronics have closed the gap in the distance around the world, I think it's time that we stop using time zones and make one time for all the planet. Because I just think it works better that way. And this is my opinion, of course, because we used to be a 2 month long, trip around the world by, a boat, in the ocean, is now just a matter of a few hours by plane. And also the way we communicate and entertain ourselves has also come to like an international, ways of doing things. Things are pretty much going near light speeds. With the advent of the internet, and business is being done international and can be made, instantly, and artists around the world, whether they're musicians or, actors or whatnot, can make a movie in, Australia, and we can see it over here in America. We also have other things that entertain us like YouTube and Netflix, which is global. It's not just, for a country in the West. Netflix is an international company that they distribute entertaining things all around the world. And taking all these things into consideration, and with daylight savings times just passing, a few weeks ago, the question I have is, isn't it time we ditch the time zones and daylight savings times and go to a global time for all of the planet Earth? And that's my question on tonight's podcast, and we'll get back to that question and my guest right after this quick news break. In Minecraft news, we're starting a new world. Yep, it is now Season 3 in Minecraft because my villagers in Season 2 were bugged. Anyways, back to you guys. And we're back from the news break. Alright, and on tonight's episode, my guest is Cool Man. It's been a long time since you've been on the show, Cool Man. How you been, man?
Good, how are you?
Well, I'm good. I'm doing good tonight. All right. And as I was saying before the break, the topic today is one world time. And the reason I brought you on tonight's topic is because we've actually had this little discussion before, and we are actually in disagreement. I think we need to go into one world time, and you are against that for some crazy reason. So let's hear from you and tell me what reason you don't want to switch to one world time.
Well, before I give my reason, you gotta remember, there's pros and cons to everything.
And I agree with you. There is pros and cons to everything, and depending on the situation, depends on what we need to go. But see, the way I'm looking at it now is the fact that because we do business internationally, and because we do all this communication and entertaining, and everything else we do is so around the world and global, I think it's time that we go to a single time. So if it's noon here, it should be noon around the world. And I know one thing that you're probably going to say is, well, what about kids when they go to school? It's going to be, 7 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be nighttime. Well, guess what? They won't be going to school at 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll be going to school at 7 o'clock at night because that's what the time the sun comes up over here. What we do is we change what times we do business, what times we do stuff, so that way it coincides with the daylight. So in the end, the time is irrelevant. It doesn't matter what time it is. We know it's daytime or nighttime.
My opinion is when we ask, if I were to ask somebody in China what time it is over there, I want to ask, I'm trying to figure out what it looks like. Like, if they say it's noon over there, then I know what noon is. But if we have a global time, like everybody has the same time, then it's going to be noon everywhere. You'll never know if it's day or nighttime. And that just, yeah.
See, I think what it is with you is you're putting time to what time it is outside. So for you, you're saying, okay, noon time, there's daylight outside. So you can't wrap your head around the comprehension where just because it's noon here, over in China when it's noon, it's actually like, what used to be 6 o'clock in the morning. It's the very first thing. They're just now waking up. And that's where you're having the issue with, is because you're assigning time to a certain time of day, like morning, afternoon, evening, and that's where. So for you, if I say 9 p.m., it's evening. If I say 9 a.m., it's morning. You're understanding it like that, and I've already stopped looking at time like that, just because, like I said, the way we do cut business and the way everything is around the world globally, and how we're so interconnected so quickly and so instantaneously with things like YouTube and international business and whatnot, that it doesn't matter what time. That we might be start working over here at 9 a.m., but they're still been working over there. I mean, even now, with the time we have it now, business is being done 24/7. It doesn't matter what time it is. There's businesses open all night, all day. Gas stations are open all night, all day. It doesn't matter what time it is. So why would it matter? So I think what it is you need to, and not just you, but people who are like-minded like you, who think the way you do, need to let go of the shackles of putting a time to what time of day it is.
Well, I'm not. Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I think of my stuff, I double think it. Like I think like with that. Like I've already thought how I think. Like I realize that's how I think. What you just said. I realize that I put time to what it looks like outside. I've already realized that, but that's just the way it is.
I don't know. And like I said, and see, and that's why we haven't. This is why I feel we haven't done it yet. There are more people who think in terms like you than there are people who think in terms like the way I think. More people are holding on to that time of day mentality, and not that it's just what time is it mentality kind of. Yeah, and that's kind of weird to say it, and I know it sounds kind of like double speak, but it's just that's probably the best way that I can explain it. That's what it comes down to. Because I mean, when we're dealing with time, it's always a confusing thing, whether we're time travel or we're trying to figure out what time it is.
Yeah, very much.
I don't know. Anything else you want to add on this one?
No.
No. You said your piece.
I mean, I'm sure when we're done with this, I'm sure I'll think of something. But.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Either way, I think we're out of time, and I'd like to thank you for watching the video. Like the video if you liked it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe and keep the conversation going down in the comment section. Let me know what time it is for you. We'll see you guys next time after bedtime. Good night, everybody.